the biggest elephant in the room. I guess not really an elephant in the room. Everyone knows, it's Chris Jones. The Saints kind of dominated our defense, and it's no shock that we had no pressure from the defensive front. So if you we're just looking at the first two drives. We're not going to look at the whole game, but look at the first two drives. That's all you need to look at to know Chris Jones' presence was missed. First two drives, both Jameis Winston and Derek Carr looked like Kurt Warner in the Greatest Show on Turf against us. It was pretty bad. So Saints scored in their first drive on a 5-minute, 12-play, 80-yard drive. Derek Carr had never looked better than – I think that was – honestly, Derek Carr's probably best drive ever against us. And he –
No.
I'm joking around. I'm joking.
He's got some good ones.
He's had some good ones. No. But I'm just saying, like, that's up there. The fact that it's his first time in a new regime, and he's already looking great.
Yep.
Second drive was only about a minute and 40-second drive, 4-play, 48-yard drive from Jameis Winston. Our DT rotation was our guy, Derek Nottie, Wise, Danny Shelton, Keandre Coburn, and Dickerson. So a bunch of guys. Some may have never heard of some of these guys. But, yeah, Nottie did not look good at all. Getting pushed back, something that JD and I have gone over going back to last season, getting consistently pushed back. So much so that when we signed Brandon Williams, it was almost instantly we saw pressure up front.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny Shelton actually looked pretty damn good. It looks like he lost a little bit of weight. He's more in shape. And Keandre Coburn had flashes, but he was at the end of like the game, so he wasn't really going against the ones and twos.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you make of the defensive tackle up front and kind of the D-line as a whole, actually?
First, I want to say I don't think the Saints are going to be a bad offense at all this year. So no. I want to any criticism I have of the Chiefs, it's not we didn't play scrubs. We played a pretty, I think what would be a pretty good offense. They have a competent quarterback who has a lot of experience against the Chiefs, right? I mean, it's not the same team, but he knows our defense pretty well. He knows our team pretty well. And playing away from KC. I saw Carr against the Chiefs has had at least 2 TD passes in 4 of his last 5 games away from Kansas City.
Wow.
Kamara played good. He looked good and played. Olave and Thomas are 2 good receivers. Talking about like 1A and 1B. I mean, they have a good offense. So I don't want to say like we look like garbage against a garbage team. We had problems all over defense. It wasn't just D-line, though. Like our secondary couldn't cover. We were letting the one that Olave dropped, that would have been for a good gain, too. He had that ball. We couldn't cover the short routes. I mean, that's all they were really doing on us. I mean, they were really picking us apart everywhere, to be honest with you. But I might make an argument for us being more worried about our secondary because we're not missing like a Chris Jones caliber player over there. At least we can look at our D-line and be like, we're missing Chris Jones. It'd all be fixed. But we don't have that all over the field. So I was worried about the lack of push, specifically middle of pass rush. It's bad when your most explosive pass rusher was Shelton. You're like, oh, rough. Shit, we're in trouble. It's obviously a problem, but at least we can identify what it is. No one's going to replace Jones. We know that, right? So only 2 people that are happy about the performance, by the way, are Chris Jones, because he can stand his ground and want his whatever the hell he's asking for, and Campbell, because the longer that Chris Jones stays away, the better chance he has of not facing him and seeing that same defense come to Detroit.
Yep.
So we need to get Chris Jones back as soon as possible, at least before the season starts. That's all it shows.
Yeah, Dan Campbell actually made a comment about that yesterday, saying that he was he liked what he saw out there, and he hopes Chris Jones waits a little longer to come back.
I bet.
I don't know if I was a Lions fan, I don't know if I'd like that. Your coach happy that one of the players isn't going to be there. It's like, I don't know, like, don't you want to play the team's best? Like, it's rooting for a guy not to be there, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll say, like, yeah, the secondary, it's troublesome because those are our guys. It all starts up front, though. So, like, if you're not getting pressure, you get all day back there. Your secondary looks awful because the quarterback's got all day to get back there, to do his thing and pick you apart. So
Fair.
that's one thing. But as far as the D line, the D tackle situation, we know, right? Like you have two weak D tackles, but then you bring Chris Jones, you only have one weak D tackle, and any kind of weakness you have from the other one, it's less because they're putting more emphasis on doubling Chris Jones, and then it gives you a better one-on-one with your other D tackle. But the one thing I'm looking at, it's at least for the beginning part of the season, we're banking on a sophomore growth from Karlaftis. He ended the season on a high note. If you look at his last 6 games, he had 4.5 sacks or something like that. We're banking on a sophomore boost to him continue to grow.
Yep.
But then we're also banking on a rookie, King Felix, to come in and do his thing. And yeah, he had a nice pressure on Winston, but I didn't really see a very fast get off from him. He looked. I mean, obviously his whole thing was, he was kind of like a do it all. Like he wasn't super fast edge rusher. He wasn't a super strong guy. He was kind of the best mix of everything.
Really good bend.
Good bend. So
that was his thing.
We're gonna have to see that come right away. And obviously we have Mike Dana, so we have some rotation of guys there. But I'm really worried about edge rushing. I don't think there's anything you can do. People can say go get Dunlap. That's fine. It's good. It's a good guy to get. I don't think it's something going to improve anything. Because not having Amanda who's going to hurt for this first 6 games of the season, it really stings. Luckily we played the Lions week 1. Yeah, they're an up and coming team, but we're gonna have some tough games in those 6 games where no Amanda who, and I think I'm going to be looking at the edge rushers more so this weekend because we know, like you said, we know the D tackle situation. We know all that is you plug in Chris Jones, that D tackle situation kind of goes away. You can kind of put, I think at times you put Mike Dana back at the other D tackle spot. We can have the other D tackle spot once Jones is there. But the edge rush, and Jones being there will help the edge rushers too because it'll also, the O-line's going to be focused on him, allowing other guys to do stuff. But we're banking a lot on the young guys, and that's one thing that we did with the secondary last year, and it worked out, and it hit. This year, we're doing that with the edge rushers. There's no more Frank Clark. There's no Dunlap. It's literally Karlaftis and whoever else is on the other side. I did like B.J. Thompson. His get off. We knew he was a fast guy.
That's get off.
That was amazing get off, and that doesn't matter who you're going up against. He just looked fast. I mean, his coming off the ball like that was amazing. What did you think of B.J. Thompson? And do you think a guy like that, he gets add some weight, add some bulk to him, add some girth to him? I think he could be a rotational pass rusher.
Definitely situational for sure. That one, especially that one clip everyone showed where him just bursting out, that was awesome. That's not what Felix is not that.
No,
right?
No.
He's a lot bigger than him too. So, but I just see another thing about Felix too was his reaction to offensive tackles. He's very good at the second move. So I think that will help too. He looks pretty polished. He doesn't look clueless out there, and he's not just relying on his athleticism. So that I do like as well. I want to see more for sure. But yeah, Chris Jones will help the entire line. It's not just D tackles, right? And like they did against the Bengals, they'll put him at end sometimes just to get change it up. So I just think he's our Mahomes on defense, dude.
Yeah.
If Mahomes wasn't playing right now, we'd be picking apart the guys around him right now, and it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
We have a massive hole. It's not just a good player; it's a massive salary hole at that D line and in our defense. There's a reason why he's standing firm on his demands. He's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got all the leverage in the world after watching last week's display. And if there's a similar performance from the D line this weekend, there you go. There's more leverage for old Stone Cold Jones.
Even if we do have a good game, what's he? Oh yeah, really? Okay, go against the Lions. See what happens.
True.
So it's even if we have a good game, he's gonna be like, okay, yeah, that meant a lot. Yeah. Take that to Detroit and see what happens with that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there was some optimism this week though. Joe Cullen, the D line coach, during his presser, briefly, it was a 30-second clip, but it was just said that he's been in contact with Chris. I've been talking to him about his conditioning, all the stuff he's been doing and stuff, and we'll figure it out when he gets here. So it was like a when he gets here kind of thing. We'll hammer out the other stuff when he gets here. It was more of a when, not an if. So obviously, $50,000 a day, man. I think he's crossed over the $3 million threshold or the $2 million threshold as far as how much money he's given up with this.
I'll make it back.
Sold out. He will, yeah, for sure. Just interesting. And then Andy Reid also made a comment about when he gets here or whatever. So it seems like it's coming to an end now that training camp's over. It seems like that's not, that's one thing some of these players don't, especially the vets, they don't want to go to training camp. They don't want to do all that BS. Like, and obviously there's a lot of stuff that comes with training camp, the camaraderie aspect, the chemistry, all the stuff, just getting in the grind, getting in game shape. So there's a lot with that. But also some of these vets, they've been there, done that. They don't really have to go there, especially a guy like Chris Jones. So like now that it's over, I'm hoping that we'll see something maybe next week, the first non-week of training camp. Maybe he'll be back. Because I think we're all tired of seeing the Michael Bay posts. The guy who quit the team didn't even make any sense. And then
all the cryptic messages,
and then also I don't know if you saw today someone made a GoFundMe.
Is that a joke though? Is that serious? I thought that was a joke.
Someone actually made it. But yeah, someone actually made it. But Chris Jones said, don't pay anything to it. That's not me. Don't do anything with that. So yeah. But the fact that there was $43,000 in there, man. Who the hell is giving money to a player? I know we're all Chief fans. We want these guys to come back, but come on, guys. It was literally, the goal was $10 million, and there was $43,000. Can
you imagine that being the future of like getting guys to report, having people like send in money, try to close the gap?
It's crazy. I mean, I hope it never comes.
Public funding for signing bonuses,
dude. I mean, crazy. I mean, these are rich owners. I mean, there's no reason why why fans should do that. The fact that 43,000 gullible people did $43,000 worth of money. I don't know how many people did that, but crazy. There's a lot of other things people could be giving money to.
We're already public funding. When you pay for the ticket, and when you buy tickets to go to the game, and when you buy concessions, and when you go buy jerseys, like, you're already giving money. You don't need to give any more.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, some people are very gullible. That's just to say it in a lightly way, I guess. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.